Good afternoon, everybody. Start a session about future TV and social networking. Well, the days are long ago when people just sat at home and switched on TV. In this session, we will leave the world of programs and we will go to the world of content. We'll leave the world of broadcasting and go to delivering. Leave viewers, go to users. TVs will be devices, fixed is mobile, and linear will be non-linear. Yesterday we were afraid of not reaching young people, the Gen X and the Gen I generation, which Dr. McNamara told us about. Well, that's why this session is quite interesting for the great wave and the baby boomers. It handles future TV, social media, and our social media networks just a way to reach more and other young people, as public service broadcaster might or mainly are using it for, or is it useful to know what's going on in society? Who are those young social networkers? Well, we've got two of them here. And another one, where's David? David Wood, oh, it's coming up. Who each give from their own way of, or their own angle, their view on how to use, to handle and to be aware of social media. Marius Arnesen will start. He's from Anaglyph, Norway, and he will introduce himself. David Wood from the EBU will join us. And, Richard Goodyear, Richard, yeah, okay, by Rundfunk is also here as third party. Then we have lots of time for discussion. And Marius, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Marius Arnesen. I'm from the NRK. I work with the Research and Development Department within the Web Division. You can reach me on these addresses and these places. I work a lot with a small web page called the NRK Beta, which is our sandbox in a way, where we get to try out new things and play around. We'll get back to that. First, a little introduction. I guess you know the NRK, but this is the old stuff. We have 3 TV channels, about 11 radio channels, plus, because there are lots of like district radio channels as well. They divide in a way. And this is the new stuff. Today we're going to talk mainly about the new stuff. This is our webpage, nrk.no, which looks a little bit black when I see it like that, but it's not usually that dark. Looks like, yeah. Anyway, this is kind of the things we're going to talk about today. I've been given half an hour, right? Plus, like, approximately half an hour. We're going to talk about friends, BitTorrent, German trans artists, time, conversation, a lot about conversation, dinosaurs, bears, Facebook, trains, the weather, and Twitter. All this within the social media network. I'm not here to give you like this turnkey solution on how to use social media as a broadcaster, because we don't have it. I'm here to show you some examples on how we have done things, and we are still like this big old broadcaster fumbling around in the darkness trying to find this light switch. Maybe we have like a small switch. I'm not quite sure. We just see ourselves as this dinosaur. I mean, we're this big broadcasting corporation that suddenly have to cope with something called social media. We have been on the internet since 1994, but now things are actually changing on the internet as well. Because before we could do like this, we've been doing like this since we started both radio and TV. We have been speaking out, telling people what to listen to and when to listen and when to watch it. We just continued doing this on the internet, really. We didn't have any dialogue. We just, okay, this is the content. You need to take it. We don't want to hear from you. This is the way it is. Then social media came along, and we thought, hey, we know social media. This is social. It's a little bit dark, but it's a family sitting in front of their TV being social. But social media today isn't really about that. It's about all these things that came in from the right. It's all about Flickr and Twitter and Facebook and Google and all these new names that pop into our heads every single day. And we think as a broadcaster, we have to really be present at those platforms, and we really need to understand them. We actually need to talk to our users. That figure is, yeah. I have an example that is pretty old, actually. It's from 2007. It's our first meeting, in a way, with social media. Our youth division had this TV show that had been ordered from them. It was an animated show. It was called, in English, it's something like 12:30 or something. It was all animated, and It was to air in September 2007, and this was May 2007. And then they came and said, hey, we need to promote this thing to young people. How do we do that? And we said, there's something called YouTube. You can probably use that. And they say, okay, that's good. We have one video with this guy called Heinrich Stammler. He's German. He's a trance artist. Some of the guys in that particular division love Scooter, so he's pretty much based on that character. And they say, we have a video with one of the characters that we can actually leak out now and see how people react to it. So what we did was we took this video and put it on YouTube and said, okay, let's see what happens. And this is pretty much the video. There is sound here now.
Everyone around and so and for real and stuff and beer. There are several liquids in the world, whether you're a boy or you're a girl. Never believe in yourself forever and real and so and beer. I like to party with beer. I like to party with beer. I put my feelings in there. I put my ass in the air. If you
A lot of people found that pretty funny, and I don't know how well you know YouTube, but it has a front page actually that someone uses as well. And that front page has this featured section at the bottom that I have put a red marker around. And there is an editorial staff in London, I think, serving the European market, and they picked up on this video and they placed us on the front page in the featured video section. And we were like, okay, what happens now? It exploded. Within like 24 hours, we had 200,000 shows of that video and a lot of comments. At this particular time, there is 1,200 comments. 1,400 people have said, this is my favorite. So it really took off. Lots of comments, lots of debate. What is it? Is it fun? Is it not? Why is it? Blah, 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 blah. And we were like, okay, social media, it works. Hey, this is good. Let's continue. And then, of course, if you know YouTube, there is this small button say flag this video as inappropriate, and someone did. At the bottom here, this guy called Parle Franca or something like that. How is it that no one has flagged this one as inappropriate? And we thought, like, inappropriate? Yeah, there is nudity. So he pushed the button, this is inappropriate, and of course YouTube is American as well, so they said, okay, inappropriate, there is nudity. It is animated nudity, but it is still nudity. And this is like the social media hitting back at us. This is the first time we tried this out, and they're like, no, we don't want your content. What do we do now? Because YouTube doesn't really remove your content, they just put it behind this login wall, so you have to log in, and pretty much that means that no one really logs in, so no one really sees your video. So we thought, oh shit, we lost to social media. The dinosaurs thinks, what now? Hey, what do we do now? Well, some people came up with a brilliant idea. Let's try to talk back to this social media monster in the way that social media monsters talk. Let's just, in YouTube you can do video comments. You can actually answer with a video. So the animators sat down like day and night for 2 days and animated a small video, which is our response into the YouTube community.
Hello dudes of YouTube and so, this is Heinrich Stammler speaking on the YouTube sphere. I see many have seen my video, Partying with Beer. Thank you for real, I hope I can make some partygoers out of you out there for real and so. I see someone thinks I'm a little bit controversial in the YouTube atmosphere and so forth. All I can say is that the video speaks for itself, you know. Yeah. And so the wing part was quite difficult to do in the video. Most of it was done on blue screen for real, and the wing...
It went really well. I mean, people loved that video as well. They loved how we dealt with the problem. It was even more fuss about it, and even more people wanted to see the video. So we thought, okay, let's have even more fun with this. Let's make a version that in no way can be offensive to anyone. And this was kind of our last response to the YouTube community.
And beer. There are several liquids in the world, whether you're a boy or you're a girl. Never believe in yourself forever and real and so and beer. I like to party.
There is no way that is inappropriate, is it? We came out of this first try like landing our feet and thought, okay, this is fun. We got a lot of young, new people aware of our content, the TV show. Unfortunately, it wasn't really that good, but this promo was. So Heinrich Dammler is still a popular guy. You can become friends with him in Facebook, and he has a lot of friends. And he keeps spamming everyone with "Come to Munich, it's beer here, everyone. There's a party." Blah blah blah. It's pretty funny. Okay, let's talk about time, because we think that a lot of this media consumed nowadays and the use of social media is all about time. There is one thing that is for certain, and that is that we cannot make the day more than 24 hours. It is 24 hours, and that's what people have to spend when it comes to time. These are the numbers from Norway on how people spend their time actually on the different media. Yellow is internet, green is radio, and red is TV. This is minutes per day. What is interesting is that we see that time spent on the internet for people between 15 and 44 years is closing in on the time spent on TV. That means that they spend a lot of time on the internet. And with why? What do they do? Do they write in Word? I don't think so. We know that they spend a lot of time on Facebook. A really lot of time on Facebook. Facebook is really huge in Norway. I have no idea how that is in the rest of Europe. It's probably similar. 2.2 million out of the 4.5 million inhabitants in Norway have a Facebook account. And there is a 61% weekly penetration. That means that 61% of everyone that has a Facebook account actually visits the site. And 25% of those users use the website more than once every day. What makes Facebook pretty special is that people spend a lot of time on this web page when they enter it. 30 minutes is the average if we listen to the Alexa numbers. And you might think, okay, is 30 minutes a lot for a web page, or is it normal? We can compare it with the CNN. CNN is the red one on the bottom. They have an average of 5-6 minutes. They are dipping at the end, but let's say they have 5 or 6 minutes. So people tend to spend a lot of time in these social media networks. And the reason is pretty simple, because Facebook now is turning more and more into moving pictures and sound and still pictures. A lot of people is posting both their own movies, but also like other pirated movies, like short clips from YouTube that they might not even be, they might be your content, they might be ours content, but they post it inside of the Facebook community because they want to tell their friends about it. And their friends, they're on Facebook. So the question is, who is telling you what to watch, what to listen, what to read? Is it your friends? Yeah. More and more people are actually listening to their friends, and they're doing it in the big social media networks. Facebook is really big in Norway, and Twitter is getting bigger in Norway. I know you don't have this, but I added 2 slides after this little conversation we had in the lunch. This is Spotify. Have you heard of Spotify? Raise your hand. Okay, all the Norwegians, of course, have heard of Spotify. Spotify is a streaming service for music. It's pretty easy. It's this user interface, and you can search for any music you like in the whole wide world, and you can stream it, playback it. You can make playlists on the left, and from last week, actually, they announced something called Spotify Social. That's the column on the right. I can see that it's not the best slide, and I think the projector is a little dark, but that's all my friends. That also has Spotify. That's on the right. The problem is that they're not my friends in Spotify. I never added one friend in Spotify. They're all my Facebook friends. The only thing that Spotify did was connect to Facebook and say, hey, do you have a Spotify account? Then you can be friends with Marius on Spotify as well. And you can share your playlists. This is Arne, my old boss actually. This is his playlists. I can listen to his playlists. I can subscribe to his playlists. I can see what music he plays. He has become my friend in my musical universe through Facebook. That could have been video as well. Some people has actually gone so far to describe this as the friend divide. This is Robert Scoble, a pretty famous journalist, blogger, good guy. The friend divide is, I think, something you've all heard of, the digital divide. That was the term they used for kids that got computers and kids that did not get to play with computers. And if you got a computer, you were lucky, and if you didn't, you weren't. And there was this digital divide. Now it's this friend divide. Those who have friends on the internet that they can listen to and get, like, what do you call it? That can tell you what to listen to and see and watch, and those who don't. This is actually probably the screenshot of the day. This is nrk.no just now. It's the P3 division of it. You can actually add a small box on your web page. This is my friends. When I enter the NRK web page, my friends say, okay, we approve to this website. It's really good. Thumbs up. You should really be here more often. This information, of course, also goes back to the Facebook news stream and back to that community. So it's possible to see that a lot of your friends like the same music, the same web pages, the same video as you do. Maybe we should try to see 5 to 7 years ahead. I don't think it's a good idea. So maybe we should start with now. And that's 5 to 7 years ahead. Now we have Google, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Flickr, we have Twitter, and we have Hulu. Who have heard of Hulu? Raise your hand. Hulu? You should really check out Hulu because it scares the living daylights out of me. I hope they never, ever get to settle down in Europe because they're really, in a way, scary for broadcasters as us. The funny thing is that if we go 6 years back, I like to do that once in a while, just to see what happened 6 years ago. Well, it sure didn't look like this. It looked like this. It was only Google. The social media is a fairly new thing. And if we see how we discover things today, how does the user discover media today? Well, this is like educational information. This is newspapers. This is yeah, whatever really, commercial products like any kind of companies. And then there is Google. If you Google something, it will serve you results from all these categories. It's pretty smart. I mean, Google, you have to give them that. They're pretty good at finding out what you're looking for. And that's what they've been doing for the last years. But now we also have a lot of blogs. We had a lot of image sites, like Flickr is it is the biggest one. And then you have a lot of video sites with YouTube and you and me and everyone who's working in broadcast, and that is on the internet. Google is also trying to serve you results from this one if you search for something. So if you search for like any given word, you might get results from all this because it doesn't really know any better. You can like specify your search and stuff, but people doesn't really do that. They just type and then Google serves them something. I use a lot of time just scrolling down, looking to see what is Google trying to tell me? Where is the content I was really looking for? It might be the 6th or the 7th or the 5th hit, but it still isn't perfect. This new layer is, of course, social media. We tend to call it social media. Basically, it's Facebook and Twitter when it comes to the Norwegian sphere, when it comes to these big, really, really big ones. YouTube is big as well, of course. But what happens if all these friends starts to like say, if you ask into those social networks, I need a good movie with cowboy movie, or I need a nice piece of music that I can fall asleep to. Well, these people are your friends. They know who you are. They can give you a pretty specific and pretty good answer to that question. I think that in the future we will see a lot more of this, that actually your friends and your networks is the one that telling you what to watch, where, eat, and sleep. It is very different from this model that a lot of us are still stuck in. So can the users help you as a broadcaster? Yeah, we think so. We have a couple of examples where we have tried to get the users to help us with our reputation, advertising, development, recruiting, and authority. But it's not free. Everything has to be like watched over and followed up. You can't really just like go let anything loose in the social media, think that, oh, I'm going to sit back and get rich, because you won't. On this sandbox of a web page called NRK Beta, which I am lucky enough to work in, we get to experiment a lot. And when we established this, said, okay, let this be a web page where we deal and talk to users, not in the old broadcast way, but we actually like, if anyone asks us something in the comment field, we answer. Everyone gets their answer. If someone doesn't like it, we try to explain to them. If they like it, we say thank you. And the funny thing is that we tend to be open, humble, honest, direct, personal, and receptive. I don't think those goes really well with broadcasting either, because it's not just the way that we do it in the old traditional broadcast way. I have an example on how this might work if you're lucky. This is yr.no, which is one of our great web pages that serves people the weather. It's a huge success. Yr is a pretty funny word in Norwegian. It means both light rain and excited. So it's pretty happy with the URL as well. It's really, really good. It's been a huge success. But we are always developing it all the time. This is a thing we do as a public broadcaster now. We actually serve people these services. The case was we need to present people with how thick the layer of cloud will be on that specific day. So we wrote an article. The title is actually "Damn Skies" because we couldn't figure out this. We had like workshops and sat down. How can we do this? We had no idea. So we asked our users that we have built up on the Anaglyph beta websites for 3 years. So they know us. They know what to expect. They know what they get. They know that this is a decent conversation that will come out of this. This is the article. The red line on the top is actually the article. The rest of it is the conversation under it, where people suggested things, talked to us and said, hey, you should do it like this. Have you seen this one? Blah, 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 blah. And we said, thank you very much. We actually found a solution to this and wrote a new article. This is how it looks now. It is actually very, very good. It is very easy to see how thick the clouds are. We didn't come up with this. We had no idea how to do this. And it's so easy. One user told us. I think it's very, very important to remember that when you do something like that, you need to participate in the debate that goes under it. We needed to follow up, to answer, to say thank you, and to really give people the feeling that, okay, you are actually here as well. We are not discussing on all alone. And for God's sake, say thank you. In the web world, a link back to that person's web page or Twitter profile or whatever is like the currency that we can give away. If someone gets a link from the NRK back to his blog, that's worth a lot for that person. Remember that. You all know this saying, don't you? Content is king. It's like this old broadcast traditional content is king. And it's true. It's definitely true. But I would say if content is king, then the conversation is queen. There is something about being able to talk about the content that we produce that people love. I don't know who actually said this. It isn't me for sure, but I couldn't really find it on the internet. So that's a quote from someone, not me, okay? This is a show that we had last Monday or something on Rockefeller, which is a big venue in Oslo. It's live streaming from the final show for a very popular a radio show in Norway. This was their final goodbye to their fans. And of course, everyone couldn't fit, so we streamed it on the internet like we do. And then we thought, hey, maybe we should set up the ability to chat as well. We're actually testing out a new free service that is out there called Scribble. It was so fun to watch that during the live show. Everyone was like just chatting with each other, having this really, really, really good tone. So this is a really easy way to do it. The even more easy way to do it is, this is our sports selection. We have streaming of football every Sunday, or a lot of streaming football really. And we thought, what if we connect to Facebook and let people use the Facebook chat? Do you know the Facebook chat? They have made like this API that it is possible to use a part of Facebook, the chat part, on your own website. That means that everyone who watches football also, of course, have a lot of friends that think the same, that they share on the same team. And you know football people, they discuss all the time. They're like hardcore discussing people. So this chat this is actually from the test, so it isn't that exciting, that screenshot. But during the matches, it is really, really fun to see how people interact on a level about our content. This is of course done by letting people log in with existing user accounts and using then the Facebook chat to chat. This is my last example. It will use both BitTorrent and Twitter. You know BitTorrent and Twitter? Raise your hand. Both? Oh, good. Everyone. Helena was here last year telling you about Twitter, wasn't she? That's good. You also have seen the project before. It's Bergensbanen, which I think was nominated for one of the prizes last night. And then you know what this is all about. I mean, I'll just turn down the sound and I can talk about it. It's this train ride from the western coast of Norway all the way to Oslo in the east. That was 7 hours, 14 minutes long, and it aired during one night at one of our main TV channels. We had nothing to do with this show in the beginning. It was a pure TV show. we said, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It really didn't sound like a good idea, but it turned out to be a brilliant idea. Because what happened was that people sat down and on Twitter, everything went like completely crazy. Bergenspan, which is, this is like a tag cloud of the hashtags used that evening. And Bergenspan was the thing that people in Norway was talking about. And we were just watching this from the outside and it's like, what is going on? What is going on? People are using Twitter and they were debating and were sitting there. And of course, this is the reason why people do this. A lot of people nowadays sit in front of the... Who recognize, who have done this? A lot of people do this, you see. And this is and this is a man, he's actually using his computer, eating, and he's watching TV. You didn't think that was possible, did you? But he hasn't eaten that much, so. So what we saw that was that, I mean, Bergenspan is the perfect content for that, because you don't really need to pay attention all the time to get the idea. It can just be there like this background, beautiful background movie. And but then you feel like sharing this thing that you are experiencing. And then Twitter came in, like the perfect social media tool for that. During that night, there were 1,600 tweets with the hashtag Bergensban. I have some of the best ones here, and I have translated them, and I can read them for you. It beats me that it can be so fascinating to sit for hours watching a railroad track. It beats me as well. Bergensban is the explanation on why we need the NRK. Who else would have pulled this off? Say yes to the license fee. Hey, I like that one. And then there is thanks to everyone riding the Twitter cabin for a very pleasant trip with Bergensban. Hopefully we can travel like this another time with the NRK too. For a public broadcaster, this feedback is like really, really, really enormous. I mean, our users love us, and everyone likes to be loved in a way. These are the numbers from the TV show, 1.2 million views. TV people count views, very strange. But 175,000 watched the complete 7 hours. Bear in mind that we are 4 million people in Norway. 450,000 simultaneous viewers. That's pretty good. But then we thought, okay, this was a huge hit on Twitter. How can we do anything more with this? I mean, it's been aired on TV, the Twitter feed is finished, and everyone's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Okay, let's take the front camera then. They shot in HD as well. There was actually 3 cameras on this train, one facing straight forward, and one to the left and one to the right. And then there were a lot of like editorial stuff when they stopped at the different stations. But we had the right, I mean, just taking off the front camera, putting it on the web, no problem. That is our content, we can do that. We even published it with a CC license, with a Creative Commons license. Do you know Creative Commons? Okay, it is the opposite of copyright. It is to license something and to say that this is yours, take it, use it, do whatever you like with it. And I think that CC is a very good thing for a public broadcaster. We wrote 2 articles on our NRK Beta blog, like our corporate blog in a way, saying that, hey, you can now download Bergenspan to BitTorrent, it's free, you can play it back on your TV or wherever you like. During the first 24 hours, we had 24,000 downloads, each on 22 gigabytes. That is a lot of data. That is actually 528 terabytes of data, and thank heaven for BitTorrent, otherwise we would be bankrupt, all of us. Because yeah, you know, BitTorrent works in a way that you doesn't really need to go to your server, everyone shares. It's pretty popular in piracy, and it works. As a distribution channel, it's just brilliant, it just works. Yeah, this is for the nerds. It was a 22 gigabyte file, MPEG-4, H.264, 720p, 50 frames a second. If you know a little bit about like the nerdy tech in TV, you know that this isn't really a format where you can edit. This is like a format that you would love to view. So people were actually complaining, but we wanted it the full HD. We were like, but this is the full HD. No, 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 no. We need it in a format where we can edit, because we want to remix your material. Okay. So we told everyone, now you can really get it in full HD. We made a 246 gigabyte file in a Move container, Apple ProRes 1080i 50 frames per second. This is as good as it gets from us. We don't actually have this file in any higher quality. And then we thought, hey, okay, if people want to edit it and they want it in like a production format, we'll give them to them and we will launch a contest. Who can remix this content, this 7-hour-long train ride the best? Who can actually make something new out of our content? This is just saying the Bergensbahn contest. We also said that the winner will get a HD camera worth €1,000. And people started playing with our content. This is some of the contributions that we got. The one on top here is actually, top left, is a guy who just speeded up the whole train ride, so you can see it in 7 minutes, 14 seconds, which is a very pleasant way to see it. The other one actually made 3D out of it. It doesn't really show that good, but it's like this fake 3D, Anaglyph. You remember when you read Donald Duck with the red and the blue glasses? This is pretty much the same, and it gives you this strange 3D feeling. It's not like watching Avatar, but it's kind of good. And the one to the right is actually someone who made a Google Map track of the whole ride with information on each station. But the top 3 were even more exciting. This is the third place. This is a Google Map. It's a Google Map with a video down on the right. It actually plays back, and when the video plays back, the small train that you can almost not see now, but does this one work? Oh, not on that screen. There is a small train there who is moving along with the video when it plays, and it's also a height curve down at the right. Good idea. This one is for the nerds as well. Have you heard of ASCII graphics? It's something that comes out of like, yeah, exactly. Hey, nerds. That's good. It's with character. It's very nerdy. It's very funny that someone really made an ASCII art out of our train ride. But the winner was even more funny. The winner actually took the whole 7-hour video file, and there is this conway belt that you can actually put your bike on, and you can bicycle. People do that for training in Norway, or pretty much all over the world. And you can hook a video cannon up to that treadmill in a way, and you can actually control the video. If you go forward, the video goes forward. The funny thing here is that when you go forward, the train goes forward. So you could actually bicycle the whole route from Bergen to Oslo. I mean, we would never have come up with that. Now he's coming into Finse station and he's slowing down, and the train is slowing down. It's like, take a rest, yeah. I think that's great use of our content. The funny thing is, people always ask me, but what about selling this instead? Well, we do that as well. We think that's 2 different markets, and people, when we get so much attention around this product, a lot of people would just love it, and they will buy the DVD. Even though they can actually download the whole thing in full HD in production quality, they buy the standard definition DVD as well because they just want it in their care. The funny thing is that I saw this yesterday. I had to take it. This sentence says the DVD does not contain the music from the program, because of course the music is way too hard to clear the rights on or to pay out. It would be way too expensive to sell or to buy out 7 hours of music. So they had to remove the music from the original show to be able to sell it on a DVD. Well, that's what I've got. Thank you.
Are there any questions while we'll wrap up PCs? 1 or 2? Comments on it? Great movie, huh? Yeah. Okay.